Hi, I'm Giri Kalra. I'm Senior Clinical Dietitian and Consultant Clinical Dietitian at Apollo Cradle, Moti Nagar. I would like to thank Mompreneur Circle for giving me this platform to interact with the broader number of people over here, to guide them and help them regarding the healthy diet to balance with, which can help in their health as well as in their pregnancy as well. So today's topic we are discussing about the medical nutrition therapy for gestational diabetes. So before going to start and discuss about what you should eat and what you should avoid or restrict during the gestational diabetes, firstly we should come quickly to know about what exactly the gestational diabetes is. So generally you know that the diabetes is basically the high blood sugar levels. So during pregnancy, if the sugar level goes fluctuate and it will goes very high, this is called gestational diabetes. So in pregnancy, because of the hormonal changes, there are lots of hormone changes takes place, because of which gestational diabetes is one of them. So during this period, because of not proper body cannot able to secrete proper insulin hormone, or insulin resistance is there, that can lead to gestational diabetes. So some people in my practice I have noticed that they believe that if you are eating so much of sugar or so much of sugar products or so much of fruits which contain high amount of its own sugar, that is fructose, that might can is affecting, and that might the reason of getting the gestational diabetes. So I just want to clear to all those things to all over there, that this is not the reason of getting gestational diabetes or diabetes. If you are eating sugar, that doesn't mean you will get diabetes. It's all depend on the body's hormonal system. So if the body is not able to secrete proper hormone, that is insulin, or the insulin resistance is there, then might be it can affect the sugar levels, and which it can lead to diabetes. So during pregnancy which happens, it is called gestational diabetes, which we can very well balance through the medical nutrition therapy. So what exactly medical nutrition therapy is? So firstly, the medical nutrition therapy is treating the particular disease or particular you can say circumstances with the healthy diet. So yes, diet plays a very important role in controlling your sugar levels as well. So if we will start with the healthy diet in our day-to-day life, so within a few days period of time or few weeks period of time, you can control your high sugar levels very easily. So let's discuss what exactly we need to include and exclude, or what we need to restrict in terms of foods and nutrition, so that we can balance with our sugar levels. So firstly, we are discussing about what we should include in our diet for balancing with the gestational diabetes. So firstly, we need to focus that generally once we are getting more of responses from other people, like we should avoid all the cereals because that are high in sugar and high in carbs, so that will affect the sugar levels. So for your information, 50 to 60% of energy you are getting from your carbohydrates. Plus carbs also helping your baby in the growth and development, in the overall growth and development, and in the other maternal tissues as well. So it's not like that we should totally avoid carbs, but we need to focus on the healthy carbs and the unhealthy carbs. So what exactly healthy and unhealthy carbs? It depends on the complex carbohydrates and the simple carbohydrates. So complex carbohydrates contain more of fiber, which is good for you, which will balance with the sugar levels. So it's good if you will include more of complex carbohydrates in your diet rather than including more of simple carbohydrates. So what exactly complex carbohydrates are? So complex carbohydrates are generally consist of your whole wheat products and bajra and millets and oats, quinoa. These are all contain high valuable form of fiber, high content of fiber. So that's why it's important to include complex carbohydrate in your day-to-day meals. We need to balance with the amount as well. So don't include and don't overdo those things which you are liking. So balance with each and everything and try to include each and everything in your meals, so that you can balance with the amount of cereals as well. Other than this, we need to include lots of amount of protein, because in the diabetes we need to restrict the amount of fats, and we need to restrict the amount of sugar. So we need to balance the nutrition with the other nutrition. So protein is one of them, which is very important, which is helping in balancing with the overall health, plus helping in balancing with the sugar levels, plus also helps you during this period, during pregnancy, in the baby's growth and development. So yes, protein is very important to include, but the point is that if once a day we are including one cereal or one protein item, maybe a dal or a paneer or something like that, that doesn't mean that is completing your nutrition. So to balance with the meals and to balance with your nutrition and the healthy diet, we need to include in each and every meal, so that we can balance with the amount as well, and we can balance with the nutrition requirement of yours. So do take care. If you will include protein in each and every meal and do take care of the amount, then we can easily balance with the amount you required throughout the pregnancy and also for the gestational diabetes. So good amount of protein are your low fat milk and its products. Yes, you can include low fat milk like your toned milk, or even if your sugar level is not very much fluctuating, then perfectly toned milk is perfectly fine. Some people do have lactose intolerance. They can't able to digest normal animal milk, so they can even go for almond milk or a soya milk. There is no harm in consuming those milk as well, and these products as well. So these products like milk products include curd, buttermilk is there, and yogurt is there. So you can include all these things. Other than this, other protein items like your pulses, legumes you can have. Even you can have sprouts, you can have chillas made out of besan or moong dal, there is no harm. Other than this, we can also include some amount of, you can say non-veg if you are non-vegetarian. So for sure you can include non-vegetarian sources of protein as well, which include eggs, chicken, fish. Yes, there are myths regarding fish, but I'm not saying you need to totally avoid it. Just we need to balance with the amount. So if you are consuming once or twice in a week healthy fishes, that will not harm you anywhere. So do include fish in your diet and go for light tuna, salmon and freshwater fish which contain very less amount of mercury. So don't go for those fishes which contain high amount of mercury. Other than this, we need to balance with the amount of fats. So yes, people generally feels that we need to restrict totally fats because we are suffering from diabetes or we have a high blood sugar levels. So I will suggest you, there is nothing like that we need to exclude fats from your diet. We just need to focus on healthy fats. So there are two types of fats, that is saturated and unsaturated in normal sense. So unsaturated fats are the good fats which contain omega-3, omega-6, which also helps your baby in the baby's growth and baby brain development and vision development. So you can include these fats in your diet, but yes, we need to balance with the amount of fats what we are including. So go for virgin oils like your mustard oil, olive oil, rice bran oil, soya bean oil. So all the brands are available. Just do take care. We need to take care that it should be a virgin one, not the refined one. Secondly, you can even focus on fish. Fish is also good source of omega-3 which is helping you and your baby in the growth and development. And other than this, we can also include nuts and seeds. So all type of nuts you can have, but during pregnancy, almonds, walnuts and makhanas are the safest nuts which you can include. Plus you can include seeds as well, which includes chia seed, flax seeds, sunflower seeds even you can include, muskmelon seeds, or even mixture of seeds you can have, but we need to take care of the amount. So these nuts, seeds and fishes are also good source of iron, protein along with the fiber. So these do contain omega-3, and along with omega-3 these do contain all these nutrients. So good to include in your diet. So try to focus on good fats. Now the point is that if we have included carbs and good carbs, and we have included good fats, and we have already included proteins, now the major thing we need to focus is on fiber. So yes, fiber is one of the important nutrition which we need to include in gestational diabetes, or to control with your sugar levels, because the protein and the fiber will take time in the digestion. So you will not feel hunger cramps easily, and that is one of the symptoms of your gestational diabetes. So do include fiber rich sources in your diet. So as we have discussed, all the complex carbohydrates like wheat and its products, oats, quinoa are all good source of fiber which you can include. Other than this, we can also include whole grains like your whole pulses, legumes, that is also a good source of fiber. Other than this, fresh fruits and vegetables also you can include. Yes, I know that fruit contains its own sugar, so we can't include in like freely amount. We need to take care of the amount what we are consuming. Secondly, we can have vegetables. So a good amount of vegetables you can include in your diet. So all the vegetables you can include except roots and tubers. So try to avoid roots and tubers, but you can have all other vegetables like green vegetables, green leafy vegetables, or yellow and red vegetables in your diet that contain good amount of fiber which you can include. Other than this, we need to focus on small frequent meals. So once you are focusing on the good amount of nutrition and you are balancing with the nutrition, but if you are not focusing on the timing of the meal, that can also affect the sugar levels. So generally what we are following specifically during these times when we are working from home, so we are just more majorly focused ki we wake up late in the morning and we consume our breakfast or lunch as a one meal, like as a brunch, or might be we are skipping our meals in a daytime and we are consuming lots of food during the late night hours. So or having our dinner at late, so that can also the major reason of affecting your sugar levels. So it's very important to balance with the timings of the meals and the small frequent meals. So if you will consume after something after every 2 to 3 hours, it will be good for you to balance with your nutrition as well as baby's nutrition. So it's really good if you will include small frequent meals. So I will suggest you कि don't make too much of night gap also. So if you are consuming last meal at around 10:30, so try to consume your first meal of the next day by at around in between 7 to 8. So it should not be more than 10 hours gap. And in the daytime also do focus on small frequent meals. Try to eat or consume something after every 2 to 3 hours. So 3 major meals you can have like your breakfast, lunch and dinner, which consists of full meal, and 4 to 5 even you can include snacks meals, which includes a glass of coconut water, a glass of milk, or maybe so we need to include light snacks meals also. Approximately 4 to 5 snacks meals you can include, which can be a bowl of fruit, which can be besan chilla, moong dal chilla, or maybe you can include some nuts, seeds, makhanas in your diet, or sprouts, roasted chana. So these are the light snacks meals, soups, which you can include in the small frequent meals pattern along with the 3 major meals, that is breakfast, lunch and dinner. So this will lots and lots of help you in maintaining with the sugar levels, because at times we are consuming little but we are frequently including in our diet like after every 2 to 3 hours. So this will balance with your sugar levels. And these diet will consist of more of fiber and protein. So for sure you are balancing with your nutrition. So your sugar level will not fluctuate more, or it will not goes very high. Secondly, along with the diet and the nutrients, we need to focus on the water as well. So water is again very important to include. So minimum 2 liter and maximum as per your acceptance you can include, and other liquids like coconut water, lemon water, some sort of form of soups, or your milk and milk products, buttermilk, all these things you can include, but that should be extra than 2 liter of water per day. So do take care of water also. So this will make you hydrate and you will not feel any other cramping and other issues. Some amount of fats, as we have discussed, we need to include because of omega-3 and omega-6, but we need to take care of the amount what you are consuming. So don't overdo of anything. So in this pandemic situation, everybody is worried and everybody is working from home, and everybody is thinking what we should do to help ourselves or our family members to not get virus infection or other things. So I will suggest you the boosting of immunity is very important, even in the pregnancy as well, and for your gestational diabetes as well. So it's good if you will boost your immunity, and immunity is not like that we can boost immediately. So it's totally work as a support system throughout the life. So we need to include food stuff and foods rich in vitamin C, antioxidant, which is helping in the absorption of iron also, Also, it also helps you in the boosting of immunity. So it's good if you will include citrus fruits in your diet, but as we have discussed, we need to consume the limited amount of fruits because fruits contain its own sugar, that is fructose. So do focus that fruit should be consumed in limited amount, don't consume in excess amount. Other than this, you can even include amla, lemon in your diet, and there are some other herbs which can help in boosting the immunity. So you can have turmeric, you can have basil, you can have clove, that is long, or tulsi you can include. Even you can make a kadha out of it, or might be you can make just if you are not able to take that herbal tea, so you can even include in your meals. Just do take care. As per your acceptance, you need to include everything. If you are not able to accept anything during this time, during pregnancy, then there is nothing like that you need to push yourself. So just see what you are easily able to take, that should be consumed. You should not compare yourself with the other pregnant woman that if she is eating so this thing, so why shouldn't I? So you should include those things which is easily acceptable by your body. So just do take care of those things. And as of course, herbs are good source of other nutrient as well, like vitamins, minerals. So it's good if you will include in your day-to-day life. Although we are already including in our food preparation, so continue doing that. So these are the things which we need to focus and include in our day-to-day life to balance with the high sugar level or in the gestational diabetes. But there are few things which we need to avoid, or you can say we need to restrict the amount of few things which can help in controlling your sugar levels or high sugar levels. So firstly, we need to take care that simple carbs like your refined flour or maida based product should be avoided, because that is the major reason of affecting your sugar levels. Firstly, maida doesn't contain any form of fiber and doesn't contain any form of other good nutrition. It's a refined flour, so it's better to avoid. And secondly, all the maida based products are deep fried, so it's better to avoid those things which can easily affect your sugar levels. Secondly, we need to focus that excess amount of fats and fried food stuff and trans fat should not be included. So by trans fat, I mean that generally we do that if we are frying something in one oil, we are keeping it aside to use it for the next time. So this is not good, because once we are heating your oil, that will make a formation of trans fats, which can again affect your sugar levels or your weight. So it's better to avoid and repeat the cooked oil in your meals. It's better to go for virgin one, or even you can use nuts and seeds in the form to balance with your fat content. And try to avoid junk food. So all the unhealthy and junk food needs to be avoided, even if you are making at home also, because that the main ingredient of those foods are refined flour or high amount of fats. So if it's not there, then there is no harm. If you are making it from healthy whole wheat thing, not from refined flour, that is maida, then it's perfectly fine. And if you are not deep frying it and you are just saute it, or maybe you are shallow frying it, that is perfectly fine. But in that case, we need to take care of the amount of ghee and oil which we are consuming in our per day basis. Other than this, all the sugar sweet products needs to be avoided. So all types of sweets like your bakery sweets and other sweets needs to be avoided. There are some sugar based beverages as well, like your aerated drink, cold drinks, your juices, your energy drinks do contain high amount of sugar. All the packed products are good source of sugar. They use sugar as a preservative, so try to avoid those things which can again affect your sugar levels. Plus also try to avoid fruits which contain high amount of fructose, or because fruit contain its own sugar. So specifically banana, mango, lychee, grapes, chiku, that is sharifa, that is custard apple. So these needs to be consumed in very less quantity if your sugar level is well under control, or it's better to avoid for a time being. Or you should consult to the clinical person who can guide them how to include according to your parameter or according to your values. So that is very important to taken care of. And other than this, we need to take care that we generally do that during pregnancy. We don't feel like eating something, like if you're not comfortable of consuming chapati or normal dal or vegetable or rice, we generally replace with lots of amount of fruits. So it's not good, because as I told you, fruits contain its own sugar. So do focus that fruit should be consumed in your diet, but in limited quantity. That is not the best option to replace your fruits with the your meals with fruits, because that again can affect the sugar levels. So these are the things which we need to take care really, so that we can balance with the sugar level during pregnancy. And yes, if you are balancing with your sugar levels from healthy diet, you will able to balance with the baby's growth and development. So I will just in short I will conclude that try to include from the 5 food groups. There are 5 food groups which we need to focus on. So first is cereal. As we have discussed, we will include more of complex form of cereals rather than simple form, which contain high amount of fiber, which will not affect the sugar level. So wheat based products or your suji based products or your oats, millets or your bajra, you can include all these things in your diet. These are good source of fiber along with other nutrition. And if we talk about fruits and vegetables, so fruits you can consume, but try to consume all the fruits and seasonal fruits, and do focus of the amount. So per day you should include somewhere around 200 to 250 grams if your sugar level is not very high. But if it's really very high and if it's fluctuating, then do consult to the clinical person so we can help you accordingly. And fruits contain its own sugar, so we should not include in the excess amount. If we come to vegetables, just roots and tubers we need to avoid. So that includes your potato, sweet potato, beetroot. These needs to be avoided. Otherwise, other vegetables like green vegetables, green leafy vegetables, and other yellow and red vegetables, you can include all these vegetables in your diet, because these are the good source of fiber, antioxidant and vitamins, which will boost the immunity and which will help in an overall health. So it's good if you will include all these things. Our third group is milk and milk products. So low fat milk will not harm you. So you can have even milk products as well in the form of curd, buttermilk or coated cheese. You can include all those things. If you are not comfortable with the animal protein milk, then you can even go for almond milk or soya milk. There is no harm with those milk as well. That they do contain the same amount of protein and calcium. It's just that the formation is changed, so you can include. Yes, almond milk doesn't contain high amount of protein. The amount of protein which is present in the animal milk and your soya milk. So if you are consuming almond milk, we need to balance with the other protein sources, so we can balance with the requirement of protein during pregnancy. Our fourth group is your pulses and non-veg group. So if you are non-vegetarian, you can even include egg, chicken, fish in your day-to-day life. Yes, you can have fish twice in a week, but it should be light tuna, salmon, which are which contain less amount of mercury. So it's better if you will include these fishes in your diet, and once or twice in a week is fine. And it's better if you are consuming non-veg, it should be cleaned and properly cooked before consuming it, so that it will not create any infection and anything else. Other than this, pulses you can include. So once a day if you are having a bowl of pulse, that is not sufficient. So try to include twice a day, or even you can include in the form of sprouts, besan ka chilla, moong dal chilla, roasted chana. So all these things you can include in your diet to balance with the protein content. So milk and milk products, pulses and non-veg are better option to include. So last group we need to discuss is, we need to take care is your basically salt intake, your fats intake, your sugar intake, and your nuts and seeds. So basically whatever you are including in the form of sugar, it's a carbohydrates, or it's a your things which you are including in your diet, like your fruits. These are the indirect form of sugars which you are consuming, so we don't need to include any simple form of sugars in your diet. So there is no need to include sugar, jaggery, honey. That should be totally avoided in any form. Secondly, if we come to fats, as we have discussed, good fats we need to include which contain omega-3 and omega-6. So do focus on virgin oil or maybe some amount of desi ghee also you can include. There is no harm, but we need to take care of the amount what you are consuming. Other than this, nuts and seeds are good options to include indirect form of good fats. And if we talk about nuts and seeds, already we have said कि we need to include, so that contain good amount of omega-3, omega-6, and also these contain good amount of fiber.